Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to a special midday screwing around version of the Normal America show. I thought I would just chat with the audience and see what's going on and play a game of chess or two to see what's up. So I'm bored. I'm one of the worst chess players you'll ever see, but I figure why not have at her. So I'm playing 5 minute control, 5 minute increments. Yeah. All right, here we go. Hope everyone's doing good today. Let's see. Is there a way to do this? What's up, Frank? How you doing, my friend? Hope everything's going good. Well, look what that did. We're trying to... There we go. Yeah, I would have been down. Absolutely. So I'm terrible at chess. But one of the things I wanted to try to do is they say you're supposed to be able to defend your moves to yourself. You should have a reason for every move you do. Yeah, I'll let you know, Frank. I should have time. Tomorrow I'll be busy. Friday I should be around. So this is, I saw some videos on some openings. This one, this guy like Ginger GM suggested, he calls it Jabava London. So that's traditionally how you start. And then from here, what I want to do, I guess, is get my pieces out. But first, I got to worry about this bishop here. This one here. So I'm thinking move this up and then this. How do I get that off? There we go. Yeah, I would definitely be game, Frank. If anyone wants to talk about politics, just let me know. But I am going to try to... I'm just messing around right now. I just wanted to try... I don't really play games or anything. I know this isn't a game in the sense of like people playing Call of Duty or stuff like that. Cast out will get a big one. No fishing today. So I moved that knight there because I didn't want to have to take... If he took my knight with a pawn... all right, now I'm going to kick out this bishop. It's the plan. And plus, it'll help me move these pawns up and attack the side he castled at. So that's my idea. Now I assume he'll move here is my guess. No. All right. Well, I guess we'd either take with the knight here or take with the pawn here. If I take pawn here, you're in the toilet at work. Well, that's great to know, Galil. Yeah, I think I'll take his dark square bishop with the knight because if I don't, then his bishop gets another pawn. So that's my thought. Destiny doesn't want any part of me. Now we'll slide this pawn up, which is good. It's going to help attack his king. Plus, he'll have to now, I assume, move this here. Or here, I guess. Otherwise, his bishop's trapped. No, I would debate Destiny again. He doesn't want to debate me. All right, so now I have two options. I could take the pawn, which then he probably takes with the knight. Or I could push the pawn. Let's take. I don't know. If I push, it kicks his knight, but then my position's sort of stuck. Let's do that. All right. Now, my plan is I want to move this pawn so that my queen could get out here. So I could move my bishop here, which attacks his queen, but he's easily able to get out of that. He might move forward. Yeah, just screwing around here. I could come up here, which again, he might move forward. Let's consider bringing this out here and see what that does. Now, if he takes, then I retake with the queen, and then I'm pointed that way. I did not think about World War II, and how dare you insult that poor guy's... Yeah, everybody's in on it. Sometimes I feel like I'm too harsh on people, but especially late at night, I get that way. But man, what a crybaby. The World War II. Now, one thing you'll see, for those that don't know, there's a big scandal in the chess world. At the top level of this guy, Hans Niemann, did he cheat at this tournament? I will not be accused of cheating because I'm not that good. So, I'm at the level where I just have like some few ideas that I'm trying to do. His king's over here, so I want my pieces attacking his king. Hopefully, I'd like to castle this way. So I need to move my queen here as soon as I can. I'm thinking maybe he takes here, and then I take with my queen, and then that'll open me up to castle. Okay, he doesn't do that. Well, it opens up his rook if I take here, but I think moving that pawn out probably helps me. It's moving one of his defenders out. So we'll try that. And now maybe this is a better move because he can't move that pawn up. So there's no pawn that'll be able to attack this bishop. So if I defend it with this pawn next move, not only do I attack the knight, but I make sure that this piece will never be taken except by another piece. Yeah, I think this is a good move. Now, obviously, I can't take the knight as is because this pawn here, but all right, now I need to be thinking. I got to move. He's going to attack here. That's fine. I could just take with the queen. That's no problem. I'm thinking that maybe I want to try this. That's going to prevent him from coming here. Yeah, you can play me on chess, Timo. See, a lot of people probably hesitate to debate me because I'm a decent debater. But when it comes to chess, I'm so bad, everyone's probably chomping at the bit like, oh boy, I'd play this guy. Yeah, my name's just robnoerr on chess.com. If you send me a friend invite, I'd play him. All right. Now, obviously his knight's attacking my queen. So I got to move the queen. What if I come back here? That attacks this. Let's try that. Or at least attacking this side. Now if he tries to move the knight down and focus on this square, I'll still be okay if I'm coming here because I'm still defending this. Yeah, I know. Isn't there a Fauci? Thank you, Red Pen. Yeah, I enjoyed debating Destiny. I thought I did quite well. But yeah, he don't really want to talk to me. All right, let's try that. Now his knight's in danger. Now I'm thinking maybe I could do something sneaky. Like move this here next move. And then obviously he can't attack with the pawn because that would be check. Oh, let's see. It could be my wife. Oh, okay. We got a friend request. Let's do it. You got it. Yeah, I'll play the next game. I think I'm in good shape here. I'm one pawn up. I think I'm, you know, you want like sort of 3 pieces attacking when you're going on an attack. I think I have that. Now, here's the question. These are the positions I find weird, and I'm running out of time. I could either castle here, which prevents any shenanigans over on this side, or I could just immediately move the bishop here, which I'm going to do. Like here he checks. Nah, I'm going to castle. I don't know. That's probably a mistake. Yep, I got you, Timo. I don't care. Nothing too short. So I'm playing 5 with a 5-minute increment. I could do 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or 5 with a 5 increment. But anything shorter than that, I'm not good enough. I need to think a little. What's up, John? Yeah, the rook's on the file with the queen, right. So I think, and now obviously he might be thinking, he can't go there because the knight's protecting. You know, I'm thinking his best move, he has to see at this point that he has to protect this here. So if I'm him, I'm thinking moving my queen here, sort of, to protect this square, or that. That's probably a better move. But is there anything I could do about this? This is still a viable move, I think, for now. Maybe I take the knight. Let's do that. Let's just take his knight. I don't want to lose on time. So that seems like a safe move. Yeah, I'm not going to listen to anyone's moves, so I'm trying not to look at the chat when it's my turn until it's their move, because I don't want to cheat in that method. I think he's going to run out of time here. All right. So that's not really a threat that I'm worried about. He could come there. I think that maybe I just come here. Let's do that. Now that'll force this defender to move. Red Pen says, I think he could, yeah. All right. Yay, I win on time. Let's see where I made my mistakes, and then we'll play the next game. Jimmy McGill, attorney, family-oriented, conservative values, might have paid for an abortion. Yep, I'll vote for the hashtag believe all women may have beaten his wife and ran over her with a car. That's what I'll vote for. It's funny how the left is... Here we go. Game review. Finding tips for me. Checking for mistakes. Looking for missed wins. Okay. 80% accuracy. Not bad. It was a serious game, says my coach. All right, so that was book move. We're good. Missed a chance to get a piece off its starting square. Let's see, what did it want me to do? I guess. Better way to develop a piece. Likes that move again. Wants me to castle, I guess. Missed an opportunity to trade pieces. Guess it wanted me to do this. Okay. All right. And then from there, I think we're good. All right. Let's find friends. There we go. How do we challenge to a game? I don't know that I've done this before. Challenge. We'll see if he's... All right. No. No, they don't want that. No. Oh, for crying out loud. I don't know what I'm doing. Abort. Okay, it's going to auto abort. Let's, again, social, friend, challenge. Oh, he's already playing, it looks like. Anyways, what are people saying? We'll just play another game then while we're waiting. All right, we'll try the same opening. Ugh. All right, we'll accept this game. All right, here we go. We're playing my friend from the chat here. All right, we'll do the same London opening. Yeah, girl can do. Okay. So we'll just. Do that. Now, I think what I want to do is this. Because now this square, once he moves that knight out, it's hard for him to defend that square. Now I'm going to have the same problem here, but hopefully I'll be able to... Yeah, I agree. It was fun with old Grok and Bill Bub. So I think I go here. And I have plans of, again, trying to attack this pawn here. I don't know that that helps stop what I'm trying to do here. He comes here. Let's see, he comes here. And then I have the same problem here. Does that help? I don't think so. I think I'm just ahead speed-wise. So let's try that. Yeah, the peer review knows what's up. He's probably way better than me at this. I'm terrible at chess. As you can see, my rating's 860. I'm like 1,200 or close to 1,200 on 10-minute play on Rapid. All right. So he's threatening checkmate here. But I don't think that that's a very serious threat if I just play this move. It protects my bishop, stops the checkmate attack, and it's going to force his queen to move. And his queen, now he's kind of lost this rook because, yeah, anywhere the queen goes, it's still an option for me to do this then. All right, so that's still safe. Is there anything I'm worried about over here? So he's looking at this move. He'll come here, but I don't. I think it's worth taking this rook though. Well, that's interesting. Okay. Well, I could play defensive. I could do this, which I know that they recommend you don't move that pawn. But let's do it anyways. Now we could consider moving this knight. But let's get some other pieces into the game. So let's... And if I could trade off, I will. That may have been a mistake. Now my bishop's trapped. Oh boy, did not see that. So that was sort of a bummer of a move. Let's just give up that bishop though. Let's do something like this. All right. Now we will take. So not the best move there. Definitely blundered. All right, now let's try to trade off more pieces. There's nothing I could do really to... Well, what if I do this? This is an idea. Sort of protect this file from... look at that. So now his king can't come over here. I think I'll castle now. All right, now we got some interesting... I think I'm going to come here. I don't have a lot of time. And the idea is, if I take this, well, let's see. All right. I'm running out of time. Well, that's good for me. I'll happily trade that. Now I'll take this pawn. Now I'm thinking this is a good square for my knight. All right, what's he trying to do? He comes over here. I don't see anything that threatening. Let's come here. And that'll threaten bishop and this pawn. All right, let's do this. I'll trade queens. That's fine. We'll come back. Get in the open file. Interesting. All right, we'll do that. That's no problem. Let's go here. I'm going to run out of time. I didn't realize. I lose! I thought it was 5-second increment. Not a good game. It was just 5 minutes. So I screwed up. But good game. I was way ahead there, but screwed up. I'll do one more if you like. Less talking this time. 5 blunders. Wow. Terrible. Yeah, good game, Timo. All right, so back one. No. So if you want, you can check out, I put a new video up on YouTube about Herschel Walker. You can put that on, or you can check that out if you like. I'll put the link up to that. Let's see. Why no sound? What's up with that? I even made a thumbnail for it just for you all, so you can check it out and share it. So I should be on around 9 o'clock tonight. 15:10. Yeah, that's about probably what I would normally like. Something like that, because I'm still learning, so I don't like I don't think it helps me to play like the fast games 3 minutes, because I'm not thinking then. Like there at the end, I'm not really thinking, and I prefer to like try to think through. Give myself a thumbs up. We can watch this real quick if you like. I'll turn off my mic. In Georgia, a man by the name of Herschel Walker was formerly an NFL player. He's being accused, despite his pro-life stances, of at one time paying for an abortion with a lover that he had. Now, the proof that we have of this is that allegedly there's evidence that there was a get well card sent to this woman with Herschel Walker's handwriting on it and a check for a large amount of money, $500 or something of that sort, to pay for this abortion. Now, we have no idea if Herschel Walker's even met this woman. He denies it. Perhaps she was just ill and he sent a get well card. Perhaps he sent money for some other issue that she was having. Perhaps they were just friends. Perhaps they were lovers. But none of this proves the case that he paid for some sort of abortion. Even if he did, who's this argument supposed to persuade? Yeah, that would make him terrible for doing something like that and adapting a pro-life stance. But if pro-life's your issue, are you going to vote for a guy named Ralph Warnock, who is a Democrat, who it seems to be his official position is abortions up until 9 months and taxpayers should fund all of them? No, even in that world, it wouldn't make sense. It's okay to say that you dislike someone's personal character. Now, this is different if we're talking about actual heinous crimes like sexual assaults, abusing a spouse, and things of that nature. I find it very interesting that what we're supposed to believe right now is that the Democrats are outraged and think you should vote against Herschel Walker because allegedly he paid for an abortion, something that's perfectly legal and something that they wouldn't even have a problem with as people that are pro-choice. But on the other hand, not only did they vote for his opponent, Ralph Warnock, in 2020, but they'll be voting for him again, whose spouse, his ex-wife, accused him of domestic abuse, neglecting their child, and even at one point running over her foot intentionally with a car. And despite the fact that we have no proof that Herschel Walker even met the woman he's accused of having these interactions with, we actually have contemporaries video showing that Ralph Warnock's wife was telling the police that these sorts of incidents happen. Now, I'm not saying this makes Warnock guilty, but notice how they pick and choose. Hashtag believe all women, unless they accuse a Democrat. So, sorry, I don't find it persuasive. It's just more evidence of Democrats, as they always want to do, weaponizing abuse against women and allegations of that nature when they see fit to, particularly around October when it could influence elections. Just like the Roy Moore situation, which, oh, by the way, he's being paid millions of dollars now for the slander he went through. This story will disappear the moment that Herschel Walker doesn't win if he loses. So don't trust these Democrats that are weaponizing this. It proves they actually don't care about abuse against women and things like that. They only exploit those women. They're actually worse for those women by exploiting those causes, just trying to get political power. I haven't seen the There we go. Look at that. Yeah, Jimmy says this is a small issue. The big issue are his words. But the Democrats are running an attack like this because they're worried that just his words aren't enough to take the seat from him. That's what they're worried about, right? If you don't want to vote for Herschel Walker because you think he misled people about a law enforcement background, or because his policies are bad, or he's not articulate and you don't think he seems like an intelligent person, more power to you. That's fine. There are criticisms very similarly you could make of Ralph Warnock, but regardless, that's not what this particular issue is. And well, good. I'm glad he didn't work for the FBI. It would be bad to claim he worked for the FBI if he didn't, but working for the FBI would be even worse. They're a corrupt institution, so I'm glad he didn't work for them. Nonetheless, I don't think that outweighs. Let's say, I don't know that that's true. Let's assume that's true, that Herschel Walker definitively said, I work for the FBI, and now we definitively know he didn't work for the FBI. That's less concerning to me than the policies of Ralph Warnock. Now, I said in the video, and I said this last night, Ralph Warnock's been accused of domestic abuse, other sorts of bad things. The media and the Democrats have given him a pass on that. I'm not suggesting that I don't live in Georgia, so I don't get to vote for them. But I'm not suggesting that, I believe Warnock did that shit, so I wouldn't vote for him. That's not what I'm suggesting. I wouldn't vote for Warnock, but I would not factor in the allegations against his ex-wife. Same as I wouldn't have with Joe Biden, with the allegations that he sexually assaulted Tara Reade. There are other reasons I wouldn't vote for them. So if you have reasons to know, I mean, you could pick and choose whatever you want for your reason for voting. But it's interesting. We could go through a list of false claims that Ralph Warnock made. But I'm assuming Jimmy McGill won't care. He would still vote for Warnock. I'm assuming that would be fine. And we see this all over the place. I mean, Jimmy McGill probably voted for Joe Biden. Do I need to go through the statements he's made? I mean, just the other day he was claiming he was raised Puerto Rican. The most black. You don't know who Ralph Warnock is and you don't vote. It's very interesting. It's interesting that someone that knows Herschel Walker enough to know sort of quotes that he made about law enforcement has no clue who his opponent is in that. And you don't vote. Good for you. Because you're not American. Great. You read. Great. No, I'm not saying reading's bad. I'm saying that it seems like you probably have selective application on when you think it's a big deal that someone says something that you think is not a truth. That's probably 90% of politicians that we have. I mean, I think it's fair to say if he said he worked in law enforcement and then he ended up not, I think it's fair to point that out. I don't think it's a big deal in an election of the importance that we're talking about here. But he didn't do any of those things. Great. I'm unaware of the specific allegations. Again, I'll accept a total face value. Let's just say that I accept Herschel Walker not only lied. Herschel Walker 1 billion times said he worked in law enforcement and 1 billion times said he worked for the FBI. And we know 1 billion times 1 billion that he never did either of those things. Great. I would still vote for him over Warnock any day of the week. Right. You're specifically talking about him and not anyone else. That's not the way elections work. We're talking about a situation when we're talking about this specific person and whether or not there should be a vote cast for him, whether or not the allegations against him are significant enough to prove that we shouldn't vote for him. We talked specifically about the allegation that the Democrats brought up, that of him paying for an abortion. Your comment to that was that's the least offensive thing about him, the least troubling thing. The most troubling thing is his words. The specific thing you brought up was the fact that he had claimed to work for law enforcement. Apparently, Cobb County said he did not work for law enforcement. I find that to be something that's slightly troubling when someone's dishonest. However, we see that dishonesty run rampant through not just politics, but throughout sort of people that have personas that are in the public quite often. I don't think it's a good thing. It's definitely valid of criticism. I don't think that that is a big issue, nowhere near as big as why we would not cast a vote for his opponent. What are you looking for someone to say, right? So Jimmy says, no, we're not talking about anyone else. We're just talking about Herschel Walker. Right, lying's bad. And where do you want to go from here? Right, can you talk about him without... Right. Do you see how the Democrats operate? We have to just look at Herschel Walker in a bubble. Okay. I'm unaware of this specific story. Again, I'll say, yep, lying's bad. Okay, now what do you want, Jimmy? Got it. There you go, Jimmy. Okay, lying's bad. Okay. Right, you're not a Democrat. I don't give a shit. That's not the point. The point is there's an election between two people going on. You're making a point that you only want to talk about one side. Now, you're a liar is what you are. You often see people that are partisan like this that'll say, but I'm not really partisan. Technically, I'm not in the country, so technically I'm not a Democrat. You're picking a side. I guarantee that you would favor the side of the Democrats more in the establishment. You're probably an establishment bootlicker. It's probably who you are. Nonetheless, I don't have proof of that right now, so I'll assume in good faith that that's not what you are. Great. Okay, we're still talking about an election between two people right here, and you're saying that one of the things that the people did that you found troubling is said that he worked for law enforcement when he really didn't. You're claiming to not even know who his opponent is. Great, that's fine. My question is, all right, what do we say? When you're saying that's troubling, what do we do with that information? Great, got it. I don't disagree. Lying's troubling. You've probably lied to a significant other and told them that they look thin in an outfit or something. Great. And if I said, well, that's not a big deal contextually with the sort of lies other people say, and someone would say, oh, no, Rob, we're not talking about other lies. We're just saying right here. Do you think it's good that Jimmy McGill said that lie that one time? No, I guess it's bad. Okay. All right. I'm saying that that's bad. I don't care if you read about his opponent. It's relevant to me. I assume most of the people that are listening to this show have some sort of idea that the reason that Herschel Walker is even noteworthy at this point is because he's running for Senate. And that Senate race is one of the most important ones in the country. So I assume that it goes without saying that if we're talking about things he's done that's negative, that we're talking about the implications of whether or not that should affect their ability to be a senator or for people to cast a vote for them to be a senator. And so then we're looking at this in a situation where we're talking about voting for another person. Now, you might not know the other person, and that's great. You're probably an avid CNN viewer or something like that. You see the attack story on Warnock, or you see the attack story on Herschel Walker, and you run with it. You're right. I don't care. The question is, what do we do with that information? Right. You could rewind the stream, right. I did call you a bootlicker. That's right. No, Mistress April. I certainly did. No, don't say I didn't attack him personally. I said he's probably a bootlicker and probably a partisan. Yeah, I absolutely said it. I won't take that back. No need to review. You could say it's a personal attack. You could feel very upset about that. That's fine. I know how you people operate. I see this constantly. 95% of the people I talk to that are partisan hacks say, I'm not a partisan hack. I'm supposed to believe this is a person that's so invested in who Herschel Walker is, but he's never even heard of his opponent. Never even heard of Ralph Warnock. Never heard of him. I'm not saying you're lying. Well, I guess I sort of am. I believe that you're not a Democrat. I believe that you're partisan and that you have an opinion on who you would like to see to win this race, Republicans or Democrats. No, it's not all I have. I answered specifically exactly what your accusation was and then went further to talk about why you don't want to talk or you think this is an important deal. Right. Let's take everything I've said out of this, right? That Jimmy McGill says the following. Herschel Walker lied about saying he worked for law enforcement in the FBI. I don't know that that's true, but let's assume that it's true for the sake of argument. Okay, he lied. I still don't think that that's a reason to vote for his opponent over him. He says, but we're not talking about opponents. Great. Okay, I think lying's bad. Now, what are we supposed to say? Where do we go from there? Lying's bad. That's it. Everybody, that's it. Jimmy McGill wins. He wins the argument. Jimmy McGill just came in with the thunderous, unbelievable position that no one could believe that you could win this position. Lying's not a good thing. Right, that's true. Lying's not a good thing. And what do you want done about it? What should the punishment be for Herschel Walker lying about being a member of law enforcement and not being a member of law enforcement? What's the punishment? Because we're not allowed to look at Democrats. We're not allowed to look at his opponent to see if they've done similar things. So now we know that Herschel Walker, according to you, lied about being in law enforcement. Great, that's not a good thing. I'll still choose to vote for him. And you're just like, but we can't talk about the opponents or anything like that. Where does the conversation go from here? Where do we go? What would you like the conversation to be? Oh, okay, let's spend 3 hours now, Jimmy McGill. Let's talk specifically about just how bad it is to lie about being a member of law enforcement. I'm not getting worked up. I enjoy this. When I'm sort of getting rapid with my voice and stuff, it's because I love talking to sacks of shit hacks like you. It's actually very entertaining because I think what happens is a lot of conservatives and Republicans and populists and anti-establishment types, like I consider myself, we forgot how to deal with sacks of shit like you. And people assume that you're arguing in good faith. You're not. You're a piece of shit. Oh, I know about the Herschel Walker. I don't even know who his opponent is. Right? It's bullshit. It's our good faith and actually having discussions with people for years where we were willing to hear their side of the argument and hash things out. That was a mistake. It's a mistake because sacks of shit like you actually aren't interested in a good faith conversation. So you'll come on and you'll lie and say, I don't have skin in the game. I don't even know who his opponent is. I just read once that Herschel Walker lied about his law enforcement background. I do swear. It is good faith. I'm telling you exactly how I feel. It has nothing to do. So I'm not just calling named. I am calling you name in addition to the other things that I'm doing. Now you haven't answered. What are we supposed to do? What's your recommendation? Herschel, okay, the whole audience hears you. We let you go, right? Herschel Walker lied about being in law enforcement allegedly. Okay, let's assume we believe that. What would you like done with that information? Go ahead. No, I can't suspend the name calling. What I could do is welcome you to leave the stream if you don't like the way that I'm interacting with you. That's absolutely fine. No one's holding you here whatsoever. Now, you can choose to answer the question or not, but I'll continue to talk in the manner that I see. We'll see you later, Jimmy McGill. So that's a good example of those sorts of people that you see on the left. And that's what they are. Oh, we just want to look at things in a bubble when it comes to criticizing. And I do it all the time. I criticize Republicans. I criticize Trump. All the time I do stuff like that. And the left's like, yes, you should do that. And I'm like, okay, now let's weigh them versus the option of the person. No, we can't do that. That's whataboutism. We can only look at the conservatives and the people I don't like in a bubble, right? And when it comes to saying there are other people that, oh, I don't support them. Oh, I don't even know who the other people are. I didn't even know he was running. What's that? Herschel Walker's running in a race? I didn't even know. I just happened to read somewhere that he lied about law enforcement at some point. Jimmy McGill comes in and says, looks like Herschel Walker's in damage control mode. Family-oriented conservative values may have paid for an abortion. That's interesting. Then when brought up, he says, oh, that's not the real issue anyways. It's what he said. But he doesn't know who his opponent is. All right, I do got to get going. I got to go downstairs. But I like people like that. It's interesting to have them come on. I don't think it's a big deal if Herschel Walker once claimed that he was in law enforcement and he wasn't. Shitty to lie. Shitty to lie when Trump said I have the largest crowds ever and he didn't. That's different than lying and saying things like if you like your doctor, you could keep them. I had no knowledge of my son working with the communist government of China to get money. I wasn't the big guy getting 10%. Those lies are far more damaging. We never said defund the police. Those sorts of things. Yeah, I should be streaming tonight at 9 p.m. But I'm assuming people like Jimmy McGill, attorney, doesn't have much to say about those sorts of things. And this sort of selective application is something that you see bootlickers and establishment supporters and Democrats do all the time, right? It's the same thing they do when it comes to terms of services in places like Twitter, YouTube. They'll say, well, conservatives violate the terms of service more. Therefore, did Steven Crowder violate the terms of service? Well, technically he did. Therefore, hey, what can you expect? Right? That's what they'll say. Does his son's comment about his father have an impact on his race? Maybe. I talked about that last night. It doesn't have an impact on how I would evaluate it, but some people it might evaluate. Does Ralph Warnock's ex-wife's comments on him have an impact on the race? Well, the difference is the media will incessantly cover family members of Herschel Walker talking shit on him, but they don't have anything to say about family members of Ralph Warnock talking shit on him, just like they didn't under Obama. Did Obama's brother talking about how much he disliked his brother, did it have anything to do with the race? No, because the media chose to not make it a story. But they will choose to make it a story when it comes to Herschel Walker. That's the way it is. But anyways, when you show that like, oh, well, technically Steven Crowder violated terms of service, and you're like, okay, fair enough, then all we're asking is those be equally applied. What about these Democrats that did it worse? That's whataboutism. Please don't bring up them. I'm not even on their side. I'm not even on the Democrat side. I merely wanted to point out that I feel that Steven Crowder should be banned. Or it's having classified information. Yeah, the FBI absolutely should have raided Trump. Really? What about the fact that Hillary's team had classified information? All I want is an equal standard play. That's whataboutism. We can't talk about that. Always silent when one side engages in this sort of behavior, and then when the other side engages in the behavior that they don't like, then they're real sturdy. We have to focus on that just in a bubble. Just in a bubble, we have to focus on it. That's right. The TOS is purposely vague, right? That's one of the things they do. It's how they control the narrative. They expect that most of these institutions, the mainstream media, etc., that they're going to control the story and be able to push pressure and to get the narrative out there that will influence the most people in the manner that they want. And so anytime Trump's accused of something, or if a conservative's accused of something, then absolutely they're going to be all over the story. That's fine. As I even said to him, yeah, it's not a good thing to lie, and that's definitely fair to bring up. I just don't think that it should weigh into the election, that there's more serious things going on, that to me that wouldn't weigh in on it much. And he says, no, we can't talk about other people. We can't do that. We're just talking about Herschel Walker, right? That's because the controlling of the narrative, and it's something you see on panels all the time, right? On the Twitch sphere. They control the topic, right? How many times did I have to talk about Ted Cruz going to Cancun? Didn't matter that we saw left-wing person after left-wing person, Nancy Pelosi or Gretchen Whitmer or what's her name from Chicago there, Lori Lightfoot, locking down people while they violated their own lockdown orders, or Tom Wolf in my state. That was never the topic. But Ted Cruz flying to Cancun, oh boy, we got to talk about that. Is there a difference between whataboutism and hypocrisy? Yeah. They're not similar whatsoever. People try to claim that pointing out hypocrisy is whataboutism. It's not. Whataboutism is when you say, I think it's okay for someone to do X because someone else did X. That's whataboutism. If the focus is, okay, you have a problem with X, and you say Herschel Walker did X, but his opponent also did X, are you willing to condemn that? Were you outraged about that? That's not whataboutism. I'm not saying it's okay for Herschel Walker to lie because his opponent lies, because Democrat. I didn't say that. I said, okay, that's not a good thing, but when evaluating on who to vote for, I still think the other side is worse. That's not whataboutism. Pointing out that someone was upset with kids in cages under Trump and said it was a human rights abuse, but had nothing to say when there were 4 times more kids in cages under Biden, that's not whataboutism. And isn't it interesting anyways, the way they apply the whataboutism is constantly when it was Trump and you were like take this issue, kids in cages, and you were like, well, actually Obama's team built the cages. And they were like, that's whataboutism. Obama's not in office now. Okay, now Biden's in office, and when I bring up kids in cages, you don't want to talk about it, or you talk about Trump, but somehow they don't feel that's whataboutism. Anyways, all right, I'm going to head out. I don't know if there's anyone streaming right now. But again, let me put If you like that, if you want to, you could like my YouTube video. I'll put the link out there that I just put up today. And let's see if anyone's streaming. Oh, my brother's streaming. Check him out. He plays games. He doesn't really do politics, but you check him out. You might like him. He's playing like horror games for October here, so check it out. All right. Thanks so much, everyone. Jimmy McGill. I'm just leaving. It was just a little stream where I lost some chess games and nothing important going on. Thank you all so much. Enjoy this raid of my brother playing some game. And as always, we'll see you around 9 p.m. tonight probably. As always, have a good one.